Hey everyone, hi. I always forget that I'm in charge and I have to do the talking.
I'll be in charge.
No, that's not happening.
Hi everyone, welcome to Perdition
To
Trials of the
perdition.
Eight
No,
here
yeah.
on TTRPG.
TEARPG. So true. I'm your GM host, sexy motherfucker, CJ. Uh, I really don't have a lot to say. I will be having a good time today. And everyone will also be having a good time, probably. If you like what I do, find me on Twitter at Scholastic Dragon. Scholastic like the book fair, dragon like the mythical creature. Drop the O on dragon when you search for me. That's all I got. This is like the end of my week thing. Yeah. Passing it. I'm passing it to Joe.
Hello, I'm Josephine. I'm at Scary Dog Friend. I'll be playing Moo, the god of fear. I don't know what else to talk about, so I'm gonna pass it on over
Class.
to. Oh, I'm a barbarian. This barbie is a barbarian. I'm gonna pass it to C.
Hi everyone, my name's C. I use they them pronouns. Trans gay art. C plays RPG. You get it at this point. Translator just dropped art of my hot wife, so if you want to go see that, you should. Artemis is in town. Anyway, I'm not gonna get distracted because tonight I'm playing Euphoria, who is a changeling glamour bard because gotta they're the god of love. And by love I mean Euphoria. But here we are. Anyway, this is weird for me. There's somebody else here that, hasn't been here before, so I guess we should probably figure out what's going on there. I'm sensing some odd vibes already.
Odd vibes? What are you talking about? Hello, everybody. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a teacher, RPG performer, and producer. You can find me all over the internet at Lilith TTRPG. And today I will be joining this lovely, lovely cast as Umid, who uses any and all pronouns. And Umid is the god of hope. Good vibes only. And with that, I will pass it back. Oh, wait, I guess I should say also class things. Umid is a halfling rogue. And with that, I will pass it over back to CJ.
Yeah, and currently we are missing a few folks. So, follow Nikki, our wonderful producer and player, who is playing Alva. And also follow Austin, who is playing Mene. I was gonna say classes, and then I fully realized that I don't want to fuck that up, so I'm not gonna say classes. They know their classes.
Not the GM not knowing.
I am firm in the belief that I don't need to know your classes or anything about your characters to bully you.
I don't
That's
even know
true.
who you are.
I don't even need to know who you are. Nobody quote me on that though. Anyway,
We're live recording.
I'm gonna clip that and then put it everywhere.
You know what? Please do. I actually think that's true. It's her wife. The wives aren't here tonight. That's what it is. Or currently, the wives aren't here currently, and I think that's okay. But if everyone's, all wonderful and ready, we can get started. While our four fallen deities are off salvaging the souls of the Forsaken in the city of Hereticus, our camera pans far across Hereticus to a singular individual who has already completed their trial, yet still remain in the city. There is a rumble of trash and skeletons coming out of a receptacle that is ages old, so old that no one really knows how long it's been there. Umid, why are you digging through the trash and what's going through your head?
Because there's got to be another book in here somewhere, right? I mean, I've looked everywhere else, and I think we see this very short 4'2" stout halfling just in this trash can, just like rummaging through, rifling, throwing things out of it, over their head, over their back, and I think there's outside of it, there's this big pile of trash that has formed as well, just kind of scattered everywhere. There's like pieces pieces of, like you said, like dead bodies of skeletons and all sorts of things kind of everywhere. And they are here with their short kind of hair that is blood red. They're two little braids framing their face, kind of like hanging down. There is dirt and grime covering them completely. And Umid is just kind of like rummaging and then sits down, just straight in the trash, just surrounded by it all. I swear to God. And they go to their back and they pull out a small, like very, very small, thin book, and they open it.
Yeah.
Can you please talk to me?
Roll persuasion.
Oh, okay. I got a 24.
24. Yeah. So as you're yelling at this book, like writing itself, much like many of the audience is used to hearing, you dot sigh. Look in the place that you least expect, and you will find a tip to get to the next.
You've already said this to me. Can you say something different this time? You've already said this, and the place that I least expect to find a new book. I've looked. New book. Where would new things not be? The trash. So I'm here and I'm looking, and this is. No, we're not gonna. No, you're. This is really harshing my vibe. So we're gonna take a moment, take a deep breath. Good vibes only, good vibes only, good vibes only. Okay, we're okay. Everything's okay. I will keep looking where I least expect. Which
a few
is
moments. Yeah,
somewhere.
no. Yeah. I think rolling over with your 26, there is another start of a sentence. Dot. Literally writing sigh. Just walk straight.
Just walk straight. Okay, thank you. I knew that we would get along eventually. I really appreciate your help. Okay, let me just and they put the book back in their bag, and I think like this is a very tall trash can, and I think they kind of like hop once, miss, hop twice, miss again, and then kind of like use something that like a crate or something that is in this trash can, hop onto it, and then jump up, like grab the side of this receptacle and kind of swing themselves over until they're outside.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. And every time they move, I think one thing that you notice is that there is glitter everywhere. They leave glitter in their wake just everywhere. So you can see that in the trash as well. There's just like piles and piles of it, and it kind of like flings up into the air as they jump. Oh, okay. They blink, and all of their multiple ears kind of like move all at once. They're human ears, they're elven ears, they're like droopy bovine ears, they have feathered ears, they have a whole bunch of ears. They kind of move all at once. Straight. Okay. And they just move. In whatever direction they were facing, they're not even going to think about it.
Yeah.
She
100%.
moves.
Yeah. What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 27.
27. So as you're walking straight, as you are going straight, I think you notice that like you're almost about to step on it, like a long puddle, like right in front of your foot.
Oh.
And it seems to like go a direction, like perpendicular to the direction you're walking straight. It's going literally 90-degree angle the other way.
Okay, well, did say straight, and this is a straight line, so I guess we'll follow it in that direction. And they just kind of, he picks a random direction, goes left, and follows the puddle.
100%. And you walk, and I do not exaggerate, miles. This is a very big city, like for minutes and minutes, maybe even an hour. And I think you begin to like hear some footsteps, like we're kind of like looking around. You see a couple of things, maybe like some hair, some teeth, bones thrown around.
Someone's clearly been here, and I think he starts to follow this like trail of
Mhm.
bones and teeth and hair to where it leads, thinking that if somebody else is here, maybe they can help. Maybe they can help me get out of here because I did the thing. I did the thing that I was
Did the
asked to
thing.
do.
You were
I
done.
did. I finished the trial. I'm done. So can I please? I would like to leave. I just want to get
Mhm.
out of here. So I think they are looking for just anybody around here. So
Yeah.
at any sign of life, they're following.
Make an investigation check just to see how quick you can be.
Nat 20. I don't know what's up with my dice today, but they are in
I'm
it.
so happy for you and a little sad because you easily find someone. The first sign of life. You've been here. How long have you been here, actually? Like,
I don't know. It feels like it's been years, but I'm sure that's wrong, right? They can't be that
maybe,
long.
maybe. I think you actually hear, like, you vet the magic man. You hear the magic man goes, "It has been years, babe." And then you kind of look and they're not like they're not there. Um, and it's like, why haven't you helped me? Whatever. And you go and you walk and you move forward. And coming out of their own like space dream, whatever the hell you would like to call illusionary, to your horror, you see Moo. And before that interaction takes place, we are going to cut to an unfortunate scene. Euphoria.
Unfortunate for who?
It stalks forward at you as the creature has snapped the soul out of this illusion, this trial, this magic. You see, prowling on all four legs with the body as solid as stone, a tail moving as fluidly as a sea crash, God, as wave crashing. And then, like, on the tip of it is like ice, kind of like resembling a mace. Inside, you look at its mouth because I think it's bigger than you. I think it's taller than you. Maybe it's like the back of it reaches to be about 7, 8 feet tall. So you can look directly in its mouth if you were standing. You feel a heat that just makes you sweat immediately, but it's also kind of warm, like sunlight. And as you, I'm assuming, kind of like instinctively back up, you feel as if it is pulling you in like gravity.
Euphoria screams. Just a scream of surprise, a scream of sudden rage, this feeling kind of overtaking them and bursting out of them, a scream of terror, easily, a scream of everything that they could possibly feel in a moment like this. And as they do, that nun like figure with the deer's head just disintegrates, and the skin and muscle and sinew rewraps around Euphoria's bones and pulls back on in the form of a dove like person, a person with a humanoid face framed by white feathers, kind of like a lion's mane around their face and down their chest. Topless, bright silver scars etching underneath their pectorals like constellations. Their feet clawed and bird-like, and they take several steps back, the feathers on their arms kind of starting to raise as they just transform into something a little bit softer and a little bit more innocent in the face of this huge, gigantic creature.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem to be attacking you. Not yet. It walks forward, that gravity still pulling you in. You can resist it, no problem. It seems that it hasn't turned that effect on you yet. And it walks forward, just like smelling you, tasting you. And then what maybe you weren't expecting. It speaks in a low, calm voice. Little godling.
Do I recognize the voice?
I'll say no. Nothing comes to
Mm.
mind immediately.
Mm.
You wouldn't recognize his voice.
Why did you say it like that?
Someone might.
Euphoria's eyes go up to meet its. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? I was starting to get somewhere with them. Why did you take me out?
It was in proximity to my meal. And after all, it tasted like prayer.
Like prayer.
Don't you know? Mortals taste best when they're devout.
That was not your meal or your prayer to have. It was mine. They were praying to me.
Yes, it tasted like the certain kind of desperation that comes with love. And it was an excellent appetizer. For
Give
you.
it back. For me.
Yeah, and as it's speaking to you, it is circling you like a predator surrounding its prey. Yeah, like you. It tasted just almost like we imagine you're going to taste like. An appetizer for divinity. A full meal.
Are you a monster of Hereticus?
No, as it still continues to circle you. Can you not feel what I am? Can you not sense it? Fallen deity? And if you'd like, you can roll a religion check at advantage.
Bark, bark, bark. 21.
21. So I'll throw it to you. What does it feel like to feel a thread of yourself, to feel divine love radiating from such a creature? It is like pulling on a thread, singular. It's deep in there, almost like a moving mass. It's like looking at yourself.
It's like looking into the mirror and the mirror looks away. It's the deep fear in there that the person you will be won't love you as much as who you are, will be, won't be. It feels tenuous. It feels like a hidden photo come to life. It feels like a mirror that won't obey.
And each mirror, as you clock that, you then realize at a deeper level, not just one mirror looking back at you, but 8. Heat like the sun, strength like the moon, a body as durable as the earth, a fluid tail like the sea, fear creeping down your spine, clearly coming off of this thing. Euphoria looking back at you like a mirror, a despair that comes from that low voice, and then a little bit of hope. All 8 domains radiating off of this beast, off of it. That look says you get it.
Oh, I'm so fucked. Euphoria takes several steps back still. Now, instead of being so entirely entranced on this thing, starting to look over its shoulder, starting to look behind it, trying to find the exit points of this situation, trying to find a place to escape to, that fear starting to nestle deeper, and that hope, so vicious and double-edged, isn't it? The little glimmer that still exists. And of course, no Lysander. Still missing one.
So you want to run?
I want to try to run.
Of course. Ah, little bard. I want you to make me, I'll say, either perception or acrobatics.
I'll
So either
perception it.
see an escape route or just get the fuck out of here.
Mm. Well, that plus 11 isn't going to do much for a 13.
Oh, let's roll the dice. Let's hope and pray for you. Efficiency plus. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, the dice was higher than that. I would like you to make me a constitution save.
Cool. 11.
Oh, that's not enough. So as you I'll say you kind of look to run, maybe even you start creeping away. And without even moving, one paw to the ground, another, almost as if it is setting itself up like a cannon. That jaw unhinges like a snake, wider than maybe you would expect if you were looking. And like a heat wave, that heat comes out blasting, and you're going to take 35 fire damage.
That is so cool. Fucking hellish rebuke. So from the smoldering embers, the ash, the fire, the cannon, the warm, familiar kiss of sunlight that they're so familiar with behind a dark mirror, Euphoria pulls themselves up, the edges of their feathers now sprayed and blackened with ash. Don't fucking touch me. And I'm gonna hit that hellish rebuke at a handsome 4th level.
Ooh.
So if you could make me a dexterity saving throw against a 16, that would be lovely.
Yeah, that is a failure.
Okay, let's see how much 4d10. Let me just
Yeah.
Oh, that's not that much. 18 points of fire damage similarly.
Yeah, it just winces a little bit, kind of that flame engulfing its body, scorching the very earth that is made of its not carcass, like physical body. And I'll say, as this happens, you see it kind of like wincing a little bit as that fire begins to spread all over. Maybe you weren't looking before, but on its back, much like how like a turtle with algae growing on it, is trees, shrubbery just taking up, and that begins to catch fire. And you see this creature begin to take its tail, its very long and fluid tail, and just try to douse itself out. And I'll say, if you want, you can get the fuck out of there. Like, you have an opportunity to at least get a head start.
I see the opportunity, and as much as I want to stay and hang out with it, Euphoria does take they do start running a little bit.
Yeah, just give me an investigation check, see if you can find anyone else.
It'd be so funny.
I-
Natural 20.
Yes.
22.
So you truly, in this moment, like out of game, you can find whoever you wish. Like, you can go directly. I think you remember what directions everyone went to. Because were you first? or I don't think you were first.
Second.
You were second. You know which direction Moo is. I think you can hear in the distance maybe Elva, who was like screaming at like someone last episode and like moving.
There is one deity who knows monsters and monstrosity better than any other. Euphoria goes for Moo.
Of course. And we'll get to that as we come back to Umid and Moo. Almost like opening the door that you weren't expecting, kind of like when someone else is there. Like the two of you like are locked in a moment of recognition and, well, whatever other emotions that flow between the two of you.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Moo? Moo, is that you?
Umid, we did not see you at the party from the who knows how many years ago it has been now.
I didn't see anybody when, well, when what happened, and that's okay. That doesn't really matter now. All that matters is you're here. Oh my god, thank goodness. I'm so happy to see you.
How is it that you are here? Did you finished your trial?
Yes, years ago. So long ago. And I have been stuck here since because nothing has been helpful around here, which is really not very nice of everyone, I should say, but that's okay. Did you finish yours? I assume you did if you're here?
Yes, I did.
Oh, perfect.
You just have not been able to find anyone? Have you not met up or seen the others, Mar and...
No, it's just been me, and that's been really, really hard for me, just being all alone and everything. I've had to do things. It's a nightmare, really. But now you're here. You're here. And so let's get out of here. Yeah? Where are we going? What are we doing?
I am attempting to find really anyone I can as well. I walked into the city with Euphoria, Elva, Mene. The fourth one is me. So you can walk with me as we attempt to find them.
The others are with you too?
They were. We had to go our separate ways when we went on our trial. But you entered the city also alone?
Yeah, I thought everyone was alone. Well, truth be told, I actually thought it was just me. I didn't actually think that any of everyone else was here. And that was really making it hard to stay positive, but I've been doing a very good job of that, as always. So I guess it's kind of nice to know that everyone's here.
Let's walk.
Yeah, okay. Lead the way. I have no idea where we're going.
We will see where we end up, I suppose.
Yeah, as you two aimlessly walk, I'll say in any direction, whatever plot relevant direction takes you, Umid. As you are walking with Moo, I'll say because you said what, like 27 is your passive? Like something.
Yes, it
high
is.
like
It's
that.
27.
Yeah. You notice that water that you were following, that trail, gone. Like you can look fully, turn around. Basically it kind of ended a couple feet before you got to Moo. Like you went to Moo, you went running, like going up to Moo. It was like it clearly ended before that, but like this thing was like miles long. And then you kind of turn around and there is no sight of it.
Was there was water here before, right?
I don't think so.
No, I saw it. That's how I found you. As I followed the water because the book told me to go straight, and it was a straight line of water, and so I figured, that makes sense. So I followed it, and it led me to you. Do you control water now?
No, I have never done so.
Is the sea here with you?
The sea did not enter the city with us, no.
Maybe they're here. Maybe they're around. Although why they would?
Maybe.
Well, let's go. Let's find it. If we see more water, I think we should follow it.
Okay.
Wonderful. As you two are walking wherever, a second thing you pick up immediately, most definitely faster than Moo, because I think Moo still has a 4. A massive bestial, maybe like tiger roar coming from we'll just say southeast. And then you kind of look, even if you look, you see almost like a sun flat, like a sun flash, like a flash of light. And then it disappears. And then you hear heavy breathing, like
Definitely some screaming too. Some
Yeah.
some bird-like screeching.
100%.
Moo! Moo! Moo!
Oh, that is someone.
Euphoria. Just give me a deck save.
F?
You could keep this up, but give me a deck save.
Playing non-combat characters is really starting to get to me. 10.
Cool. No worries. Keep up what was going on.
The hell?
Moo! Moo!
Euphoria.
Oh, is that
And-
Euphoria? I thought that was a very strange cow.
I imagine
Yeah.
Euphoria comes full tilt sprinting out of the mist, down the city street. Full tilts. The ends of their feathers are burned a little bit, and there's a small trail of smoke coming off of them. But they're sprinting full tilt at you.
Open up my arms.
Euphoria runs right into them, I think, just full body all the way in. I don't think that they have noticed Umid quite yet. They hit you, probably
Yeah.
making both of us stagger back at least a little bit, I imagine. I saw something. Hi. Okay, I knew I could find you. It's following me. It came to eat my prayer, and they had swivels. Oh, you're here. Oh. It's following
Hi.
me.
Something is following you?
Yes. Yes, I think it's our collective nightmare, I think. Even yours. I didn't know that you were here. I thought maybe you had left us for good.
I didn't know that you were here. I thought that was just me.
Oh. So good to see you. I'm glad to see you.
Me too. Me too. Such a pleasant surprise.
There is much for us to come back to once we understand what's going on. Where should we be looking, Euphoria?
Euphoria pivots and points.
Do we see the creature, it in the distance?
No, almost uncharacteristically silent. Well, the city, Hereticus, you've been here for a while, Umid. This place is usually silent, almost silent as a graveyard, literally and metaphorically.
I don't see anything.
It came to, I think it's hunting us, all of us. Not just me, it had all of us in it, all of our nightmares in it, all of
Oh, I
us
don't
in
have
it.
those.
It had 8 heads. Eight, not heads, 8 aspects. There was you in it, I think.
Well, I
But it
can't
was
have been a
there.
nightmare.
Euphoria kind of lifts up their arms where those like feathers are singed. It interrupted my test.
Interrupted your test.
It ate it ate the person I was trying to talk to. I didn't get where I needed to go. I don't think I did it. But I'm out now. And it was there. It pulled me out and it wanted to eat me too. Like a bad dream. This way. It was this way.
Oh,
And
oh, okay.
Euphoria tugs on Moo's sleeve a little bit, starting to pull them back down the way they came.
Okay.
Wait for me. And I think Umid like starts jogging behind.
Yeah, 100%. I'll say like maybe Euphoria came from an alleyway, like sprinting because everyone walked down basically huge roadways and you had to connect basically to like cross perpendicular. And how are you going about, how are you all going about looking for this thing?
Uh, that's
You
y'all.
Okay, I was gonna say, I think that Umid is listening for it rather than like looking for it visually. So
Yeah.
I think all of their ears are kind of pricked up and they are sort of like moving their head around as we walk to try and see if I can pinpoint some sort of unusual sound of a creature or a monster in some way.
Yeah. Roll me a perception check.
That is a 22.
22. Oh God. Yeah. So number one thing, it rolled very low. You immediately see kind of scorch marks, like huge paw prints in the ground. Kind of heavy. One part's heavy, the other part's like burned, and then the other part's like wet. And it's like these four things walking kind of, the way that a cat, like big cat would. And it's like, alternating, and you can tell which direction that it is going. And I'll say, because you rolled so high and it rolled so low, you will get advantage on this. As you are looking, because of that failed save from earlier, wrapping around your body like a rope, a wet, cold rope, pulling you upwards, like kind of yanking you like a fishing rod, is that tail you were running from. And Umid, you like can see that the claws basically walk almost very easily upwards to the building as if it's like unobstructed by gravity. And then you realize, whoop.
Yeah,
What would you
there's
like
just
to
like
do?
a howl and a screech upward.
Yeah.
Euphoria?
Uh, and Umi will kind of like point upwards towards where
Yeah.
Euphoria went.
And you see Euphoria like basically being pulled like a rod. And if you'd like, Umid, you can basically try to stop this. I'll say
Yes, I would
no, yeah.
like to do that.
You can basically I'll say we can make an attack roll if you'd like.
Okay, sure, we can do that. I will make an attack roll and hope to dear God.
Dropping shit, we're good though.
13?
Oh, 13, 13. I'll say that's enough.
Okay. In that case, I think the way that happens is it's instinctual. I think a bygone instinct from another time. And as soon as Umid realizes what they're seeing and hearing, and in that split second as Euphoria is being sort of like pulled up, I think Umid goes and grabs Euphoria's hand to pull her back down.
Yeah, Euphoria, I think, is like for a moment like suspended there, but they reach out and grab your hand just as fast as you reach out to grab theirs.
Yeah.
And I think just through sheer instinct alone, Umid like pulls Euphoria out of the grip of this tail and brings them back down.
Yeah, 100%. I'll say because like Euphoria is big, like much bigger than the tail. You begin to like pull them down, and there's like a point of tension for a moment as like you're pulling and they're pulling at Euphoria. It's just in the middle, kind of like that scene, the two things like being pulled in the middle. And Moo, if you'd like to, like no check, you can basically like pull Euphoria out of this.
Absolutely.
Euphoria comes down, you are without a doubt, like at least below the lower half of you, wet like a goddamn cat.
That looks and feels so awkward and horrible, in fact. Euphoria, I imagine, also like lands on the two of them as they're pulling them. Mm, there it is. Found it, I think.
If you could,
Mm-hmm. Right. Thank you. And they kind of like roll off of you, just like tuck and roll physically off, and then they push themselves up off the ground.
do we see the rest of this creature up on the building now that it's
Yeah,
here?
I mean, basically think like a huge, not like I'll say like six, not six, like 5 stories. Think like a that's a lot, like 3 to 4. Just really tall, like a really tall building. Euphoria was basically being pulled up like way too high than you would want. And as you kind of like pull away from the tail, you kind of look up, and one, because of the height, and two, because nothing's looking over, you don't see anything explicitly.
Okay. Um, I think Umi sort of gets up off of the ground after Euphoria rolls off of him and kind of like dusts himself off, glitter kind of coming off and falling everywhere. And they say, okay, well, we found it, like you said. So, what do we do? And they turn to Moo.
We're killing it. And I would like to rage.
Easy.
We? I can kind of sit back and, you know, bring up the energy of the group, right?
It's also hunting you.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you said it's hunting all of us. So, I mean, if one person handles it, then we're good, right?
I'm trying to think. It has a tail. I think even as Moo is like cycling through what she should change in her body, like you see her like her teeth get bigger and then they suck back into her mouth and then like her claws get bigger. Like she's like sort of deciding. We're gonna go for claws for my beast form. And I am going to climb up on the building to get to the monster.
Yeah, I'll say easily you do that. You have large claws. There's also indents of these paw prints
Yep.
as you get up there, and you kind of look immediately and you don't see anything. Maybe you see kind of on the edge of the cliff where Euphoria was going to be like yanked like a fucking fish. You see like water dripping.
Water.
Kind of maybe like ice particles as well.
Ice.
It carries each of us with it somehow. I could feel all of us, even those we haven't seen. There's like a sidelong look at Umid for a moment. I'll go with you, Moo. Better not to be alone. And I'll
Wait,
Misty
I
step
don't.
my way up there.
Yeah, easily. I'll say like I feel like you have a. What's your acrobatics?
My acrobatics is pretty high. It's a +5.
That's fine. I'll say like just climbing up very quickly. The paw prints are basically the equivalent of like fucking not ladder, like indent rungs. It's not hard to get up to this building in particular.
Wait, I don't. I can't be alone. And I think Umid also will, seeing Euphoria Misty step their way up this building, being left completely alone. I think Umid is going to, in their hand, this sort of like row of glitter forms, and it turns into a blade, into a dagger, and they take it and they go, okay, well, and they throw it up towards where Moo and Euphoria went, and then I'm going to use psychic teleportation to teleport to where the blade lands.
Easily. Love it. Yeah. As the three of you get up there, you kind of just like survey the situation. It is similarly the way that you saw earlier. There are the paw prints that go all the way up, like, you know, from the four that were coming. There's the burned one, the wet one, and the heavy one. And you get up here, and Umid and Moo, can you make me an intelligence saving throw?
No.
I swear to God, I'm not lying. Nat 20 for a 24?
Wonderful. This is great for you.
Hey, CJ.
What?
Natural 20.
Natural 20? Great. Nothing happens. In fact, like, shaking it off wouldn't even be relevant. It is like a fly attempting to, a mosquito attempting to like suck the blood of a giant. Like, you all are used to this. Something tries to like get at you, like get in your mind, and you just swat it away.
Next time, please don't leave so quickly. Thank you.
It's just following your stead.
So, Moo, did you find it?
It disappeared. I see the water now, I think is what this is.
Wait. Like the same water that I followed to get to you?
I suppose.
It was so...
Sorry. I cannot do perception checks for the life of me. Moo wants to try.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you roll investigation? What are you trying to perceive?
Investigation?
What are you trying to perceive? What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to smell something. Like,
okay.
Is this pee? No, I'm kidding. Like, am I able to smell something like that isn't the three of us, basically?
That's fine. Yeah, give a perception check.
0.
Goddamn. Oh my God, Joe.
Yeah. What the fuck does 0 look like? Just like giving a good sniff in the air. Like,
I sneeze.
you sneeze. Yeah, you like try to sniff and you sneeze.
Bless you.
You just see a monster just like reeling back from a huge monster sneeze.
Yeah. So Moo is perceptionably useless.
You were so very interested in hunting us before. You had so much to tell me. So much to do. Perhaps you'd like to come back out now. And I would like to use my Mantle of Majesty to cast Command without expending a spell slot.
Goad it.
Show yourself.
You say goaded.
I don't say goaded. I say GOAD. Goad it here.
Oh, got it. What?
I was just goaded with the song.
What saving throw does it have to make?
Let's see. Me reading my own things. Who am I? What am I? What am I doing? Command. Bonus action. I believe that's a charisma save.
Charisma saving throw.
Watch this thing have like good,
Of
all good.
what?
It is the
saving
most
throws.
charismatic monster in the world.
Against a
Pers-
16.
Personally, I think it's kind of hot. So
Don't worry, I have Charm Monster too.
that's really funny.
Of course you do.
That would
Of
work
course
on
you do.
me.
What? What's your spell save DC?
16.
16. You said that. I don't know why I asked you again. I'll
It's
say you
actually a
don't
wisdom save. My bad.
Oh, it's a wisdom save. That's
It is a wisdom save.
I'll say, yeah. I'll say, here's what happens. You don't see it, but you hear that dual layered voice. Yes, morsel, but don't you know the hunt is the best part? As I'll say, like looking to like another building to your left, you see kind of coming out of that cloak, out of its invisibility, prowling and circling to kind of show its full body. So Umid and Mu see that hard stone like body with the tail as fluid as water, with it like the top of it with a mace on it, heat coming out of its mouth, and I'll say kind of burned shrubbery on that back that's attached to like the stone. And then each of its footprints being kind of like one is flaming, the other is ice, the like another one is just kind of like that heavy earth. 3 fallen deities, 3 fallen deities. The quest to eat you all. Well, I'm here, Euphoria. Now what?
Does a hunt that has no violence feed anyone?
Well, you're so weak that I could kill you in one shot. Grab you up, pull you like a little fish.
Then why didn't you?
Because a hunt is always more fun when the prey runs.
I asked you to give me my prayer back. I will not ask again.
Why don't you take it? And then in one pounce, not pounce, like one charge, a second charge, it is going to pounce and leap, and the 3 of you may roll initiative.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Wow. 22.
Can I impose disadvantage on myself for
On
initiative?
yourself. Sure, friend. Of course you can.
Get help.
Make me. I got a 5.
A 5.
15.
15.
It's my
And
feral
Euphoria got a
instinct.
22. Going up first is it.
God damn it.
And it is coming for Euphoria. Because of course it is. Euphoria, what's your armor class?
My armor class is 12. That's pathetic.
Ooh, yeah, this is hitting. This is definitely hitting.
Yeah.
So coming down like literally like a goddamn tiger is it, and it pounces on Euphoria, and one heavy claw slamming Euphoria into the ground, kind of like a cat playing with like like a little ball on the ground, like a mouse. And first you're gonna take 16 force damage as like you get your bell rung. And then kind of like, and I think for fun, it's going to grab you again with that tail. And instead of like hitting you, because obviously it can't, it's kind of playing with you now. It's going to pick you up and throw you like 100 feet in the air. And as you're falling, I'll say it's going to swap from attacking you and going to use that attack. Umid and Mu, can you make me a Constitution saving throw?
16.
Uh-huh.
Can I do a dex save anyway?
No.
I mean, I'll take that too if that's what we're doing. I got evasion, uncanny dodge.
Ooh, good. So you're taking half.
15.
Oh, that's only for
15.
dex saves.
Oh, you're right. I'm so silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So both of you fail. You are going to take 35 fire damage as this thing opens its mouth and roars at you. And a blast of heat, similar to what you can tell burned Euphoria, scorches you. And that's going to be its turn as it waits for Euphoria to come down. Kind of like open it breath attacks you, and then kind of opens its mouth like in 4 different directions, waiting for Euphoria to calm down, so it can like gulp Euphoria up in like a big swallow, like one big gulp.
This is so fucking wretched. I love it. Oh my god.
Yes. Oh, Euphoria, it's your turn.
It is my
you are
turn.
coming down. You're like, we'll say like 90 feet. Gravity's giving you a little bit of help. You're coming down.
That's so nice of gravity. Gravity, we say.
Gravity, we
Okay.
say.
Gravity.
Well, I'm in the air and I'm gonna be here for a hot minute, so I might as well fuck some shit up.
Yeah, of course.
So whatever that connection that Euphoria felt, that like tether that binds them to it, to that aspect of it, to that aspect of me that lives in it, Euphoria is going to like almost grab the place where their heart should be and like pull as though they could literally pull some kind of connection between the two of them. And I'm gonna cast Synaptic Static at 5th level. That's a point within range of 120 feet, so just like down into its mouth. And a 20-foot radius sphere must make an intelligence saving throw.
Does that
Against it.
do you get choice of who that hits?
Are is everyone else there too? I could do a different spell.
Everyone else is there.
Okay,
you can
maybe
move
not
if
an
you'd like
area
to.
of
You can. I'll
effect.
say you move it easily. Like you're level 11.
It's so big.
It's the 20 is real big, so you can like move it to off to just include this thing, but
Just on the edge of the
on the
radius.
edge of it, it's gonna make it easier to like get out of that. But for now, it failed.
It failed.
Mhm.
All right. Well, it's going to take 8d6 psychic damage, and on a failed save, that connection starts like glitching, like literally glitching and warping. Euphoria starts changing it because they are partially, in a lot of ways, change. So they will have muddled thoughts for the next minute. During that time, it rolls a d6 and subtracts the number rolled from all of its attack rolls, ability checks, as well as constitution saves to maintain concentration on any spell.
Yeah, 100%.
And it can repeat the save at the end of each of its turns.
Yeah, you want to roll that 8d6 for me? Get the big
Yes.
dice.
8d6. Oh god, I rolled d8 d6. That's not what I want. That is going to be 34 points of psychic damage.
Yeah, this static goes into its mind, almost kind of like pervading it, trying to muddle this thing's thoughts, and you do it. It like closes its mouth, kind of like shaking its head, kind of like instinctually, like an animal would.
Like whatever part of Euphoria lives inside of it is now fighting against it from the inside out.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, and it says, I will consume you. Just you wait.
And as
Anyway.
Euphoria is falling, I do still have my bonus action. I will go ahead and meta magic myself to also cast.
Yeah.
True Sight.
Give me a perception check.
What the hell?
Uh, 25.
Yeah. So as you cast True Sight to fall, as you're falling, you notice. You would not have noticed this before because it is like being shrouded in the mist itself, covering itself. You notice. First off, you notice that like the mist is surrounding you all, kind of in a way of like not like enclosing, but encircling this, we'll say ring, like the battle area. And as you look like off in the distance, maybe 500 feet away, is an individual standing in armor, like kind of like maybe I'll say true sight kind of lets you see through it, so I'll say it's a little, you mostly see its silhouette. And holding that weapon, and I'll say because of like all of the checks that you've made thus far, there is a sense of divinity in a weapon like that 500 feet away. And you kind of take that in, and then I think it like notices you noticing it, and then it like jumps off the back of the thing as you're falling.
Hmm. And that'll be the end of my
That'll
turn.
be the end of your turn. I think we got like a 2. So Moo, it's your turn.
A 2.
5.
We're gonna get right into melee with this bitch, and we're gonna do 3 attacks.
Beautiful.
Okay. Yikes. Okay, that's gonna be, oh well, actually it might be good. Claws. Okay. So that's 21 to hit
Hits.
and 2 dirty 20s to hit.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
Okay, great. So all 3. Give me a wisdom saving throw of 16 as well.
It's pretty fucked up. It fails.
You know what else? Do you know what else is pretty fucked up?
What?
You.
Aw.
All right, hang on. So I have a bunch of damage for you.
Yeah, just tell me the total and I will.
All right.
I'll vibe.
It's gonna be 39. Do you need to separate slashing and psychic?
I'll say half the slash. Well, as a magical slashing.
It's great question. I think
I feel like
as
it
a-
is. So don't even look.
as
I'm just
a
gonna assume it is.
beast,
So don't separate it.
I literally I don't know right now.
That's
So
fine.
yeah,
Sounds
39.
feels like it was
39. As not only Moo's claws doing that magical physical damage to this monster's body in an attempt to find out more about it in some fashion just by literally tearing it open. There's also this psychic attack of fear wanting to dominate its nightmares and thoughts and sort of pervade its mind. So that is my attack and extra attack. I had one extra thing because of my claws. And my I believe my infectious fury was what the extra psychic attack was, so that's no action. So I still have a bonus. I raged before this as well.
You did.
I think that is actually it for Moo. Unless, is there just like another check, like a skill check I can do with my bonus to like?
Sure. What do you want to make?
Could I get another 0 in perception or something?
What are you trying to do? We can make something work.
Or maybe even Arcana or something. Or religion. I want to just continue to uncover more information
Yeah,
as much
100%.
as possible.
Religion check, if you will.
Religion.
We'll
All
whip it in.
5.
God. Make an advantage because this thing has every part of you.
19.
Woohoo! There we go. I'll say similarly to the way Euphoria did earlier, pulling on that thread, you feel divine fear coming out of this thing. And as you pull on that thread, like looking at yourself in a mirror, you then feel the 8 other mirrors looking back at you. 7 other mirrors looking back at you. All 8 domains within this creature. I'm silly. It's 9. Forgot about
Feels
Lysander.
like me. So it's like punching myself in the face almost.
It's
but
like punching yourself in the face.
like a 9th or 8th of me.
Literally, that is the
Okay.
exact feeling.
Okay. I'm disoriented as hell.
Of
Well,
course.
like not like actually, but like I'm just like, oh, like having to quickly readjust. Staying in melee, I'm not moving. That's my turn.
Yeah, good. Umid, it's all you.
Umid stands there as Euphoria and Moo go to engage with this creature, with this monster, and they, I think, don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They've never really had to do anything. That's the whole point, is that they don't. And so I think he kind of stands there and watches as they go, and instead of acting to engage with this creature in any way, I think Umid spends their turn trying to learn more about it, in the sense of, is there some sort of, based off of the previous trials and the way that we have moved from one trial to the next, is there some sort of connection, pattern, something that Umid has noticed about how we move through trials? And is that related to this creature in some way? Do we need to be here doing this right now?
That's really good.
Basically,
Roll either investigation or religion.
I'm gonna do religion.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get a 14.
A 14 with religion. I'll say 14. This feels weird. This does not feel necessarily correct. You don't know why, but like, your book doesn't like to talk to you. You've kind of accepted that. Your book is fucking useless. You have to find a new book every single time, and that sucks. But the book has a little bit of rhyme or reason to it. You find a new book to find the next thing. But even in the old books, there's always like a piece. There's a shred. There's a little bit of sense to the madness. You are pointed in some direction to be able to take you to something. Nothing has pointed you in the direction of this, though.
Hey, everyone. Sorry to interrupt, but I don't think that we should be doing this. I know I say that a lot. But I think we should leave. And I think of me that's just kind of like yelling out to Moo and to Euphoria, in the midst of this chaos, in the midst of it literally being embroiled in combat with the both of you.
Yeah, this thing
Euphoria
is
is literally falling through the air.
yeah, just
I have found, for some reason, no apparent reason to stop doing what I am doing, so I'm going to continue.
It's not this. This isn't right. This is not the way to the next trial. And I think, with everyone not listening, if I may, CJ, if this doesn't count as like two actions or whatever.
No, you're good.
I think Umid is going to start looking around. We're up on a really high building, right? We're up on like basically a 4-story building.
Yeah.
Umid is going to take this vantage point take advantage of this vantage point and start looking around this, because she has not had such a clear view of Hereticus before this. He's going to start looking around and trying to see like, where the hell is an exit? Where can we leave?
Yeah. I'll say that as you are kind of looking, give me an investigation check.
15.
15. You see something in the far distance. It's like brown, and it's square and brown. It kind of looks like a little box. It's like a mile or two real far away. I actually think Umid has good eyesight. So like you kind of you're like, what is that? And I think it might be a door.
Oh my god. There's a door that way. And I think Umid points, and that is the end of my turn.
So far away. Yeah. And this thing is going to, you can't like knock off Somatic Static, can you? Or can it make another save?
It can make another save at the end of its next turn.
Yeah, 100%. It is going to. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, all right. What does that have to be?
It has to be to 16. It's allowed to do stuff on its turn. It'll just take a -6 to each roll.
Yeah,
that it
fucking
tries
To
to
hell.
do.
everything?
Yeah, like
To
basically
attack
saves
rolls,
and
ability
attacks.
checks, and constitution saving throws, yeah.
Yeah,
Yike.
this thing is going to like attempt to like it kind of like it can't really tell where Euphoria is. It knows that Euphoria is up, but it's like it's just gonna try to attack Moo. Moo, what's your AC?
Only 15.
Oh, you might be. Well, if it doesn't roll a 1. Yeah, no. Let's try again. Nope. Okay, okay. This one might hit. This one might hit. If it doesn't roll a fucking
Why is it rolling so many goddamn times?
meets it, beats it. It's gonna hit you once, but barely.
Okay.
As this thing is like swiping at you, it like stops. Like almost like a human man to focus. Takes a deep breath in, stops itself. Got you. And picks up that heavy paw and it's gonna just like bring it down on you. And you are gonna take 16 force damage.
Pussy shit.
So true. And for now, oh, let me roll. Let's hope it. Come on, I believe in you. It. What does that mean? Oh, it rolls its saving throw. Like the saving throws count too on Synaptic Static Donut. You're muted, and I think the answer is yes.
Bark, bark, bark.
There we go.
16. Yeah.
Yeah, because no matter what, a 16 minus 1 is a 15, and it's not gonna. Yeah, it's fucked. It is struggling. It's having a bad goddamn time.
If I may,
Yeah. He's gonna talk shit.
Euphoria since falling has learned a new emotion. And up in the air as they're falling, they are channeling it into it. They are like slamming their fists against that reflective mirror that is themselves inside of it with doubt, 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 doubt. They've never doubted themselves before, but now they are throwing all of it at it.
Like a two-way connection, and you are you're lighting the fire on a rope. This thing is it's pissed. You think just because you can take advantage of this I'm going to eat and flay you, Euphoria. You will become a part of me, and you will be my. And it is just fucking streaming, cursing, angry, not having a great time. But that's its turn. So Euphoria, you're like 30 feet from hitting the ground.
That's so sexy of me. I am gonna Misty step to the ground again.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I am gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Kind of like sliding in. Yeah, just
yeah. I think like right next to Umid. They land right there. Okay. And there's like a kind of intense focus that immediately gets broken as they turn to look at you. What? A door?
And Umid, I think just like if I can act here, and it's totally cool if I can't.
Yeah, go ahead. No, this thing is having a bad time. It's just gonna keep struggling. You guys can do what you want.
Umid, I think, grabs Euphoria by the shoulders and physically turns you in the direction of the door.
Make a advantaged check of its in perception or insight or perception or investigation. My words. I lost all words very quickly.
I'm sorry, what was
Make a
all
look
that?
check. Make a look real good check.
Make an ocular check, please.
Make an ocular real good check at advantage.
Well, unfortunately, I rolled a 1 and then also a 3.
Dear
so a 14.
God.
I think Umid rolled a 14, like it's 15, I think, right?
I don't remember.
Theirs. So similarly, in the far distance, like looking at a like for you, it barely looks like a door, but like you see something, you're like, it could be a door.
Is it the same direction that figure was? I also still have my true sight up. If looking at this door does anything weird to my little eyeballs.
I'll say if the door is like 180, like straight forward, the direction the figure was at like a 45, maybe a 90. I'll say like somewhere not 90, but like in between. I'm putting socks on. Yeah. It's about a diagonal, but close.
Umid, there are a lot of doors in this city. This is a building. They all have doors on them.
To be clear, it's in the middle of the road.
Yeah, that's so fair.
But that's even
Euphoria
funnier.
is still learning about what doors are. They're feeling a little
Hey,
superior
idiot.
right now, though. They're
Hey,
feeling a
moron.
touch superior.
I can't not Euphoria being like, hey, I don't know if you know, but like buildings
doors
have
exist.
doors. Just
Euphoria is like the type of person to have learned a brand new word like an hour ago, and they're trying to like talk down to
Oh,
Umid
totally.
no, they're like,
Euphoria's
I discovered
just
this, and now
learned
I know
this.
everything about
Yeah.
this.
I know everything about how buildings are supposed to work. I've been here before.
Horrible,
Actually.
horrible rant.
I hate this.
In
I
Euphoria's
hate.
defense, this place is like the equivalent of a graveyard of broken buildings. So, could be anything.
I understand that. I understand that. And you're noticing that they seem to be tripping on like every time they go to like refer to you, something in Umid's throat catches, something in their speech just stops them and they can't get there. But that door is not where it's supposed to be, so I think that we could hope that it's the right one to get us through.
It is.
When you say
continually
hope, they
failing.
flinch. Like actively flinch away from you as you say hope. Fine. We can do whatever it is that you want to do, since you are so often leading us. But I'm not leaving anyone back here. And they turn to go for Moo. And I think that's my turn.
Generally, if you'd like, you can be like kicking the shit out of this thing because it is like,
Yeah.
I do not exaggerate, not making any of its saves.
Right. Well, but then it's not a fair fight. So I think Moo just stops and it's like, if it seems to me like properly incapacitated, whatever that means or looks like, then I will turn back to the group and just sort of say, Mene and Elva and anyone else we may be leaving here, should we just trust that they will make their way out?
I have made it out of all of the others on my own, so we can hope that they will do the same.
If it is our chosen destiny to leave, then I suppose we must. I think we need to go, either way.
I don't want either of you to continue getting hurt, so let's go.
Euphoria looks like they've gotten 2/3 of their life force kicked out of them, approximately.
On a scale of 1 to 58, or whatever is your HP, what's
On a scale of 1 to 75, they're looking about a 24.
so true.
This thing is like, you all kind of look, and it is just like almost like being on a ship, like shaking, confused, seasick. This thing is just trying to wait out this effect, seeing that you aren't attacking it, and it's basically waiting for the spell to wear off. But you fully have all the time in the world you want to get out of here.
In that case, I think that we will go. Umid is wasting no time staying here. He does not enjoy being around a monster that will kill us. So I think he runs in the direction of the door.
Yeah, 100%. You climb down the way that you came, and like you hear the deep voice interlaid with that lighthearted one. I will get you. I will find you. I will eat you. You cannot run from us. And it just like you're gone. You're running away, not dealing with that. And you walk, run, sprint that like mile, 2 miles that it takes to get there. Do any of you talk to each other? You don't have to. I'm literally just bullshitting you. You're running towards.
I've had quite a lot of obsessed ex-lovers in the past, but this is really taking the cake for me.
Moo's like very troubled, I think, just sort of like thinking.
Did you feel it?
I did.
What did you feel?
Saw that monster was every bit of a part of us.
I didn't feel anything.
Moo kind of looks at Euphoria like, um, let's go through the door. I don't think we can sit around here.
There was someone on a roof. I could see when I was up so high in the air. I think they had something to do with it. But I couldn't see them, their face, it was not clear. I think it's not just you and I and Umid and our darling Moon and Earth. I think there are others here with us too.
Well, that's good. Maybe we could all come together. Just like old times.
Right.
Yeah.
Old times.
And as you three are kind of running, walking, getting closer to the door, it begins to come into focus. You begin to realize that, like, one, there's a lot of mist here. Like, there was a lot of mist before when all of you came here. Like, this place is kind of like has that haunted look, very much like haunted house core, like mist here, smoke there, stuff coming out of places, but like still a dead town. But this is different. Like you feel that condensation, that mist kind of taking everywhere to make sure like kind of thickening the fog. And you can keep going and you can follow the door, but you can still see the door. And you begin to see that it is a singular door, browned, very plain looking, but like also kind of ornate with like beautiful golden carvings in it, very much like the stuff that you would see back in, well, whatever you used to call home, whatever the domain of the gods was before you fell. And you're like, and it looks so familiar and it's so close and it's so close. And then there is maybe a little bit of dread, but I can't tell you how to feel. As you see that water, Umid, so because you have that high perception, you see it cross a threshold in front of you and then raise kind of like a wall and then freeze. Stopping you. And then you hear footsteps from a voice that's very tired and like kind of old, but it's those heavy footsteps clad in armor. And Euphoria, you can look very easily and notice it's that same individual with that sword with divinity etched into it. And then you see thrown in front of you, tied up, seemingly to be unarmed, like unharmed, I should say, but also gagged, probably like for thrashing around, maybe unconscious, a mixture, like just not looking at a great sight. So you stopped it. Very unfortunate. But that doesn't matter. That was the appetizer. I'm not good at these things. Little fallen deities. You can call me your doom. A god killer. And that is where we're going to take a break.
The what? No!
What the fuck do you mean, the God Killer?
But yes.
Hello?
Make sure you come back after the break, y'all. We're going to take like 10 minutes, for me to stop sweating.
We're gonna change systems, apparently.
We're going to change systems, apparently.
We're all gonna
and we're
change
have
clothes.
a good fucking time. But don't change that channel. We're going to come back soon. Hi, everyone. Howdy. Hello. Hi. We're back. And, we're just gonna jump into it. We've got our friend Elva with us, who has, for some reason, been tied up unharmed, but nervous. And we have a, honestly, can only hear the voice, a seemingly handsome man walking up to everyone. I think he's handsome, personally. And that tired voice of seemingly an older gentleman speaks. They are about 60 feet. They seem to be walking up kind of slowly with a little bit of purpose. And they tent their hands together and they put one knee to the ground. You hear the metal shaking. And you hear the metal shaking of that suit of armor again as the other knee hits the ground. And they begin to pray. And I think all of you feel this, even in those mortal bodies that you hold, you feel this earnest prayer, this earnest feeling coming from this one person. It feels like doom as they speak. Weep. Weep for the violence the gods will inflict upon this world. And I will weep for the violence that I will inflict upon you. I weep for the person that I was before I emerged in a baptism of fire and blood, smeared in the viscera of a life we could have led together. Your hopes ignited this funeral pyre. I weep for your mortal hearts, your bodies entangled in the curse of divine providence. I weep for the hope that is positive without recourse. I weep for the fear that has sat long without knowing itself. I weep for the love that has lost in its self-perception and the earth that has abandoned its sibling. They open their eyes. The betrayers are real, and this world worships them. They call them the sun and the moon and the earth and the sea and fear and euphoria and hope and love. This is your destiny. Oh, 8 of you. I will etch your names in my blade. I am your death. I am your end. And I am the God Killer.
I have a question.
Blade. You can speak. They are pulling it out. They pull out what you see is a hilt that doesn't seem to have like anything on it.
Why don't you just go cry about it then?
And they let that question like kind of hit them almost in like a child throwing a toy at a grown adult.
Are you being a little crybaby?
And you can keep this up, but I will be explaining what happens.
Yeah, of course.
As that mist that like had been enshrouding you all, and you remember that there's an ice wall basically to your right. If you were coming from the left, basically that distance, that mile or two away, the ice comes from fully the right. And you see them kind of holding their sword in both hands as Moo is throwing insults at them. And all of that mist that had been like kind of shrouding everything begins to coalesce into the blade, into the hilt, into a watery, silvery, shining blade. And Moo, can you... Can you make me a con save?
No problem.
It's going to be not that high.
Oh, God. Sorry. It's going to be 21.
Great. That is really good. Because faster than what you realize, almost in a way that feels like with an intent of that doom stirring in you, they slash past you, that water extending. They're like 60 feet away from you. Almost like just like pinpoint hitting you in the chest. No damage. But you feel it. And I think it sinks a little bit that this is bad. This is bad news. Because thankfully, had you not saved, there's no slash mark, there's no injury, but you do take 70 points of necrotic damage. And you resist outright dying as you realize there's only one thing that can kill a god. Another god. Because as that water comes back into the sword, and you feel it in your chest like dread, like doom, like pain, like it is hitting the core of you. Make all of the commentary that you want. This is where you die. And we can all roll initiative.
Lysander?
So just confirming. Between when I talked to Alan and now, how much time has passed?
When you talk to Alan and now, not much. For you personally, basically, and like kind of like as if it's a flashback, what happened to you basically is you came out of this, like the whole thing broke. You came to go, last episode, the last thing you said was, I'm going to go find my brother.
Yeah.
And as soon as you walked out, like literally, almost like that water like rope that has been taking everyone, kind of reaches down, grabs you, and that was like the last thing that you remember. But you don't wake up injured, kind of maybe with a headache.
So like less than an hour?
I'll say less than an hour, yes.
Perfect. Good to know.
Wonderful. And you wake up kind of like to that prayer, kind of it wakes you up. And I'll say the ropes aren't even tied tightly. They kind of were on a pulley system that allowed them to drag you a lot farther. You kind of look at your feet and you can tell that they've like been dragged on the ground. Um, but you're here, you're awake, you've got a little bit of headache, no damage, and you are able to you're up. And I think the first thing that you saw upon waking up was like Moo basically, I think you see like a water whip go into like Moo's chest and kind of pull out. If you could actually, Nikki, actually all of you can make I'll say religion check or arcana.
9.
5.
5 no, 9
Modified
no.
20.
Modified 20.
19.
19 and 20. You two recognize what this is. Maybe it's because of who you are. Maybe it's because of your wife who did interact with mortals. Maybe it's because of Hope, who loved to give them little sprinkles of, wisdom. Like, don't worry about it. Just stay positive. It doesn't matter. You've seen this before. It is soul. But it is a portion of Moo's soul. As that water pulls it back into the sword, you kind of see them open up the thing in their the jawline that night things have, put the sword in, pull out, and close. So what did everyone get for initiative?
6.
6.
Nikki and I
16.
both got 20.
20.
I'm going first though.
6, 20. What did you get, Nikki? Unless you were the other.
No, it was me and
It was you. That's
yeah,
what.
me
Okay,
and
that's
Joe
what I
got.
thought. Euphoria. What did you get?
16.
16. So going up first is Moo.
We're raging.
Uh-huh.
We are using bite as my beast form. And I am running right towards our friend. All right.
Please do.
That's going to be 15 to hit and a 25 to hit.
Yeah, the 15's not going to hit, but if you'd like to, dearest Moo, you can hit this individual at a cost.
I really don't trust you, so no.
Okay, that's fine.
Just me personally, just not even within the game, just personally.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Just kidding. All right, that is gonna be. Oh my god. Okay, that's gonna be 11 magical slashing, and I'd
Tasty.
also love for you to roll me a wisdom saving throw of 16
Wisdom
again.
saving throw. Oh my gosh. Day whale.
Okay. This is psychic damage. That's going to be 14 points of psychic damage extra.
Tasty.
And I'm going to regain 4 hit points as I sink my teeth into this person and take back their life force. Although they did do 70 on me, I'm taking back 4.
4? They have armor, so how do you kind of
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, all right. Joe said no.
Fuck you, CJ, personally.
You're so valid. You hit their hand. You bite their hand.
Yeah. And when people try to be scary around Moo, she really it's not that she thinks it's cute, and nor does she not realize the threat of this. She still wants to kind of, there might be something, maybe it's because Umid is here, that she is feeling a little more annoyed. She's feeling more willing to act out a little bit, not be so respectful. So, and because this is someone that she did perceive to be immortal at first, and perhaps not now.
Yeah, I mean, you're biting them. You're tasting them. If you'd like to, you can like make a check.
Okay, I will. Investigation?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm licking them. I'm licking them. 18.
18. That's pretty good. So with an 18, you can tell. Honestly, what's your bonus to investigation? Is it
0.
like high? 0, that's fine. Then I'm just gonna let you keep this 18 because I'm not gonna ask you to roll advantage. I don't trust your dice. With an 18, maybe it's because you felt before, like you felt like this before. There is something divine as you bite this hand and it like you taste it. It's like divinity, something that you yourself have not felt so potent in a long time, but like diluted, kind of similar to when you fell.
Someone gave this person divinity?
You don't know, you just
Okay.
feel it. Like before you, like somewhere between the same vibe as when you fell, but before you bit the apple, because now you are mortal, like your body is mortal,
Right.
but your soul to a degree is still divine.
Okay.
But yes, is that the end of your turn?
So sorry, I want to be able to telepathically communicate to everyone within 30 feet of me, so that might just be Euphoria and Omid.
Yeah, something
Okay.
like that.
What can I like very quickly communicate? Like, this person has a divine soul. Like, I don't know if someone gave them divinity or not, but this person
At least have a
is
divine
adjacent enough to a god.
body. Yeah.
Right. Okay. This person has a divine.
I'll say everyone
body.
because they walked up to you to do the little pray.
Right. Okay.
But yes, you can do that freely because I'm assuming you can talk to people in your head.
Yes, I can. That's all for me.
Yeah, 100%. So next up we have is Elva.
Can I tell how poorly Euphoria is feeling? Like, is it obvious?
They've got like some singed feathers and a lot of like a heavy nosebleed.
Okay.
They look a little rough around the edges.
Are we out in the open or are we undercover?
You're out in the open. There are buildings behind you, but so around you is a huge wall of ice, basically to your right. To your left, open space, and in between that open space, on like because it's a street, are buildings.
Okay.
So basically, you all are in the street.
How many feet away is everyone from me?
Not that far, like max 10.
Oh, okay. Everyone's super close by.
Yeah, they walked up to you, did the prayer, and then like slashed at Moo's soul because Moo talks shit.
Okay, cool. So, I'm going to cast Bones of the Earth.
Ooh, that's a seasonal spell.
Basically, I'm going to cast this so that it lifts up without doing damage to Euphoria. Is Hope a melee fighter or a ranged fighter?
Ranged.
Okay, so myself, Euphoria, and Hope all get picked up by pillars that erupt from the earth. And I'm going to do, because I can do up to 6. So I'm going to do 2 for each of us that are within jumping distance for each of us, so that if one breaks, we can jump to the other. No, I'm going to do 1 for myself, 2 for each of them. And then I'm going to use one of them to pummel the person who just attacked Moo. So they need to succeed on a dexterity saving throw.
You have what?
16? Yeah.
Yeah. What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 18.
Yeah, I'll say Umid and Elva. You notice that, like, for a moment, like, as this hits, I'll say it hits. The spell comes out of the ground to hit them, and like, I'll say Umid probably catches it the most. You see that like Moo is biting this person's hand. They're not wearing like gloves or whatever. They're just, they want to range of motion with the sword, and almost like before Elva even cast the spell, they look to the earth, kind of where this thing was going to hit, and then like look away to see whatever Moo's doing, and then they get hit. And you can tell with that high passive perception, they knew this was coming.
Okay.
Yeah, how much damage for a failed save?
Well, I thought it rolled it automatically, but then it's not in my history, so I can't tell. So I'm gonna roll the
with
damage part again.
Yeah, no worries.
25 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh, I'll say it even knocks them back a little bit, kind of like pushing Moo, like it comes out of your mouth. No more treats of man.
I think that, yeah, if they like fly up, they had to take the dexterity saving throw to do something. Let me double check if it's that they fall, because then they would also take falling damage. They're lifted automatically, yeah. So.
Yeah, just.
And then I'm assuming the other two will fail their save on purpose, because you can choose to fail. So
Yeah,
you can get
100%.
lifted in the air. Maybe you won't get hit again for a bit.
Yeah, how high are these?
I can make them up to 30 feet.
Got it. Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
that's what I'm going to do.
He goes up 30 feet, and the other two of you kind of go up gently, like normal. But yes, next up, if I'm not mistaken, is Euphoria. Yeah, cool.
You know it. As Euphoria comes up almost in a mirror image to this person, like Euphoria also brings their up fingers together in like a prayer motion. And I'm going to use my Mantle of Inspiration as a bonus action to give every one of us 11 temporary HP, to everyone except the God Killer, obviously, including myself. Delicious, delicious, yum, 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 eating that with my hands. And then I think Euphoria is a little taken by that strange monologue and this odd half divine mortal. But their like hands stay clasped and like the feathers start to rise off of their skin a little bit. And I'm also going to use Bless on Mu, Umid, and Elva. So all of you can add a d4 to all of your attacks and saving throws for the next minute. And Euphoria is, I think, a little bit like surprisingly quiet watching this. Like with they were a little bit more like frazzled and connected and entwined with it, but this is so different and so strange that there's something that registers in them, and that doom, that doubt starts to like bleed back into them from where they had pushed it into it. It like starts coming back into them now, and that doom in their body feels like doubt, and it's starting to like freeze them up a little bit, as I think like that pushes outward in an extension of like trying to protect those around them.
Yeah, 100%.
And that'll be my turn.
That'll be your turn. And if I'm not mistaken, it is Umid next.
It is. Umid, I think, is also taken aback by this person and these strange words that they're saying. I don't think that she quite understands what they're talking about. But she pays attention and sees that this god killer, as they call themselves, seem to be able to predict our movements or seem to know what's happening before we even think to do them. And so I think, if I may, in the air now, as Elva has brought us up, Umid is going to, because I presume that Mu is going to keep fighting, Umid is going to watch and observe this person in order to understand, and like, is it the sword that's giving them this ability? Like, what is it about that? Is it the fact that they, is it the fact that they like ate Mu's soul? Got a 22.
22. So a couple of things with the 22. Let me roll something real quick, as if I don't think. Yeah, no. Yeah, natty one. So, I'll say, you can ask two questions, maybe three, three questions, and maybe you can hold one if you'd like.
Okay.
But you can ask three questions, and you'll also be able to use your sneak attack as you see a weakness.
Okay. How are, and you can tell me if I need to be more specific.
No worries.
How is the God Killer able to predict our movements / actions?
I'll say what you realize is specifically, it's not your actions, it's Elva's.
Only Elvis, so not Moo's, not Euphoria's.
Yeah, I'll say you kind of notice that there's like when they like taking in all of the scanning the battlefield, you notice that they seem to have that precognition when looking at the ground, when noticing that Elva was going to hit them with this. But when it came to Euphoria, they were watching Euphoria very intently to make sure that Euphoria wasn't. You can even see that when Euphoria clasped their hands, maybe like their left foot went back in an attempt to like maybe defend, and then realizing that like, oh, they're doing a heal. And then maybe even like among the one like scanning the information, I think maybe even you kind of like look down at them and then they look at you immediately as you were making eye contact, and then they realize, oh, you're just watching, and they look away. And then like similarly with Moo, it is they're looking, the rest of you they're looking at with this intensity, like or with this watchful.
Okay, second question. Is there anything familiar about this person?
Yes, very much. Similarly to how Moo got it, but since you rolled higher, you fully understand that energy that they are giving off is something so potent of divinity, but way removed, almost as if they have fallen themselves.
Can I reasonably put this together in character?
If you would like to, you can say what you believe to be true.
Okay. I think then that in the air, observing all of this and seeing everything, Umid is going to use his psychic whispers, and I can do up to 4 creatures, so I'm going to choose Moo, Euphoria, and Elva, and is going to telepathically whisper to them. I think the God Killer is Elva's brother. And as they say this, no sound comes out of Umid's mouth, but their mouth opens and this myriad of tongues come out. One human, one forked like a snake's, one barbed like a cat's, one serrated like a duck's, and they all move in tandem as Umid whispers this into the minds of each of the other gods.
I love that. Is that the end of your turn, or would you like to do anything else?
That is my action. Technically, Psychic Whispers takes an action, so
Yeah.
I'm
I'll say,
good.
yeah, I'll say there is like when they got shot up in the air, they came back down very quickly, kind of their feet hitting the like pillar. I'll say that like they just kind of use an action to just reach up and then punch down to like smash their particular pillar so that they hit the ground again. Is this really necessary? You could just let me kill you. It would be done. Anyone can
No.
respond if they wish. All right.
There's no
Euphoria.
need. There's no need for us to fight. Umid says from up on top of their pillar. We can. Mar.
Wow. You were pretty inquisitive, we made. And they were going to like, it seems they were going to do another prayer until you said that, and then they changed motions to reach for their helmet. And very Oh, CJ knows that, but very much like softly and slowly taking their time. They take their head off. Or not head, sorry. Helmet. They take their helmet off. My bad.
I
They
was
take their
like,
helmet
head?
off.
What?
That's wild. No. They take their helmet off and you see an older looking Mar, like kind of like gray hair, kind of somewhere between like what you would imagine to be like mortal like 50s and like 65, somewhere between that range. Um, kind of like a little scruff on there. You all remember Mar to be like usually like dark hair, kind of like droopy, kind of exhausted. But the look on his face and the look in those eyes that he has is something past tired. It is tired, it is determined, and it is cold, like a still water sea. Congratulations, you figured out who I am. Would you like to die last or something?
I would prefer if we didn't die at all, actually.
Well, considering that goes in direct conflict with what I want. No.
Why, Mar?
Why
putting
is
the
that
blade
something
away.
you want?
Tell me, did any of you look for me? Did you wonder where I was? Do you know how I fell, Moo?
No, we were all doing our trials.
Hmm. Well, I've actually not been doing the trials. I've been off doing other things. Speaking of which, one of them should be coming. And then, like, you hear the of the tiger beast hit the ground like behind Mar, and it comes up to Mar, and like Mar kind of like scritches it on the head. This little guy. And actually, I think what you notice is then Mar kind of like reaches over to the thing's mouth, and in like not in anything graphic, I'll say like avoiding graphic, reaches in their own mouth and pulls out Moo's divinity that they swallowed and feeds it to it. And as you see that happen, it gets bigger and its teeth get sharper and it takes on closer aspects of like Moo's bestial form and kind of grows basically a size taller and goes, good little guy. Yeah. Yeah, the trials. I'm not doing that. I've decided to make it my life's mission to make sure none of you reach home.
Why? Why?
Because you don't deserve it. Well, one of you doesn't deserve it, and anyone aligned with them, as like their eyes go to Elva, deserves to die. Speaking of which, where's that wife of yours, Elva? I felt a bit of magic leave this place, and they haven't come back.
She's got her own trials to deal with.
Mm. Fine. And then you see them like reach into like a bag behind them. And they throw it on the ground. If you want to know how serious I am, take a look in that bag.
I'm not leaving
Euphoria
the pillar to
will
look
go.
in that bag.
Euphoria will go? Yeah, 100%. Euphoria. You reach into the bag, and it's heavy, kind of like a big paperweight. And you open it, and inside of it, cracked and covered with blood, is Soul's godly item. They were first on the list. I was really hoping that God, what's their name? Umane would be here. You know, slay the sun, slay the moon. Make sure the earth has nothing to come back to.
I'll ask one time, Mar, before I let my temper get the better of me. Why?
And they say nothing.
For
They
the love I have
just-
always shown you. Why?
They just keep staring at Elva. And they look at you. And almost like with a like holding back a sadness. If you don't know, then that is all the justification I need, dearest Euphoria. It does break my heart. I thought of you all like siblings. And gods, does it hurt to betray a sibling. And they pray one more time. And then the ice melts. And if you all would like, because you feel it, next to the like the tiger's not attacking you, that's not the problem. Things begin to rumble. You fully have a chance to get out of here as this happens. Because it's slow and steady, and then it's all at once. A tsunami.
I am if there's anything I can climb, as far as get all of us height or something, if I can just grab everybody. Well, we're on pillars right now.
You're on
right?
pillars, but they're only like 30 feet up in the air. But you do notice, like, no check necessary. The door is right there.
Okay, great. I'm gonna grab
Like you can
everybody.
climb down. It seems they're focusing on this. And like kind of like to your horror, you see water rising from every aspect around you.
I'm grabbing everybody.
Coming forward. And
I'm grabbing
Mar,
that holy item.
100%
taking
you
it with
take
me.
it. And Mar just the sea is everywhere, my dears. You cannot hide.
Shut
As you
up.
open the door, like one by one by one by one, you go inside, and then like you close it, and you like hear from the other side of the door like a literal tsunami like crash against the like the door, and the door disappears. And you all find yourselves kind of in a pervading darkness. But
Can
it
we see
seems
each
safe
other?
here. Yes, like I'll say there's
Okay.
like a singular spotlight. Kind of you like look around, nothing. Maybe like you kind of look in the distance, there's like another light that you see a table, maybe like 30 feet away. And you kind of have to walk through the darkness, but like nothing seems to be chasing you. There's a table with like 8 chairs there.
Well, that was very annoying. I've never remembered Mar to be that rude, and all of you just as she's like coming down from her monster form, her body is like mostly just fucking rotten because of the necrotic damage.
I think in that 10 years when we were having tea parties with skeletons, I would have explained to Moo and Euphoria what happened with my brother. Because I think over 10 years she would start to feel, even though she was like trying to find her wife, she would start to feel a little bit guilty for what she did.
Yeah, 100%. Maybe it like hits the two of you like in this moment. Like you kind of get some time to breathe, and you're like, why the fuck would Mar act like that? And then
I hope that Mar's okay. Whatever he must have experienced when he fell must have been very difficult for him.
So when we were struck down, Mene went to find Solaris, and I went to find my brother. And when I felt him falling, I went to find Mene and let him fall. But there was
What were
nothing
you
I could do at that point.
What were you supposed to do?
I couldn't do anything.
Well, all we can really ever do is pray for the ones that we love, and I'm sorry that you couldn't see that.
Pray? You want us to pray?
To who?
And Euphoria is kind of like crumpled on the ground by the door, holding Soul's item like up to their chest, like pressing it against them. Who do you want us to pray to? Soul is. They took Soul.
To ourselves. To ourselves, because we are the ones that are able to make things better, and we can only
And
do
make
that.
it better, Umid. And they like gesture out with the item. Then make it better. Bring her back, please.
You know, I can't do that. We can only have faith that Soul is resting.
Soul is floating in oblivion right now.
Hopefully enjoying themselves there.
What's around us is like tables and chairs and stuff.
Yeah, like you are in like an seemingly infinite darkness with like spotlights that you can't really quite look at because like, the darkness kind of shrouding it and you're like, is this attached to something? You can't really
Is
tell.
there like a ground?
You're touching the ground, but it's kind of like in a way where like you look down and like you come up to the light, and then you see like it's also kind of a pitch black, not in like a spooky way, in like a obsidian like marble kind of way. But there's only the door, like the spotlighted door that you came into, the darkness, and the table with 8 chairs.
Is this room big enough that I could cast Create Bonfire and it wouldn't harm
100,
anybody?
like infinitely big.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cast that a little bit out from us so that we can see a little bit better because I don't have dark vision.
Yeah, 100%. You kind of like gesture either way looking, and it's kind of like being inside a cave, like a dark cavernous cave. Maybe someone yells and you hear your voice echo, but like it just keeps going, not hitting anything. And it's kind of just like a space. Infinite.
I ask that because Moo, even with her like rotted body, will just take a chair and just like completely shatter it, like break it against the ground as Umid says, hopefully, whatever. And then Moo just sort of like walks to the end of the table and just like tries to like calm down, honestly.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe we can all just do some breathing exercises together and allow ourselves to center after everything.
Elva's going to walk over and put a hand on Moo's shoulder. And then with like the flames kind of rolling behind her, look at Umid and go, I'm going to need you to shut up.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's...
And then she turns to Moo. Are you okay?
I am attempting to make sense of what is going on. I realized that it must not have been it was a very long, lonely time for Mar, and that he must have felt alone and unsure. But we all have our own domains. We are not just singular people, singular entities that mean nothing. Now, who knows? Because of what Lysander has done to us. But we are concepts. We have people that we are disregarding because of Lysander. It is not our singular faults for being in this situation. And I do not like to be frustrated, but I am.
The problem is that when Mar and I were first created, when we first came into existence, when we split, it was like Mar took all of the sadness and I took all of the anger. And I think after a while, sad is so hard and anger is easier. And I left him in isolation for so long. And before we existed, we'd been together for so long. And I don't think isolation works for him. It doesn't work for me either, if you haven't noticed. Being separated from my wife didn't take it well. But at least I had that to look for her. And Mar has nobody. This is my fault. This specific instance is my fault. The stuff Lysander did has to do with all of us, but I am the reason for Mar. And she'll turn to Euphoria. If I can help get Soul back, I will.
Euphoria just kind of curls inward around the object again. And I think their form starts turning to glass now. So all the feathers like turn to this kind of hollow glass, and whatever like flowers and moss was growing in it the last time they had taken this form is a little bit wilted now.
I think Elva will turn back to Umid. When I told you to shut up, that was the pre-Alan me. Don't even get me started on that man.
Who's Alan?
Don't even. Oh, you don't want to know. You would have hated him. The worst man I've ever met. I'm sorry. I told you to shut up. The constant positivity when somebody is very clearly angry, and she'll kind of like look at Moo, is not as helpful as you would like it to be.
I just think that we can move past the anger, and the sadness, and Umid will look at Euphoria when he says that. And we can just move forward. Because we can fix all of this when we are gods again. But we can't do that like this, so why be sad? Why be angry? Why get stuck? Well, we could just have faith.
I don't see anger or sad as bad things, though. They're uncomfortable, but there are no bad emotions. We're not stuck. We're experiencing.
I just think we can experience something better. That's all. But don't let me tell you how to do your work. Your domains are your own. So. But I won't be sad or angry or anything but hopeful.
Doesn't that get exhausting?
No, it's actually quite energizing.
Ella doesn't believe that.
And that's fine because I don't
She just
think
stands there and stares.
Just a long
And
silence.
waits for this much smaller person to like cow to this very large, angry Earth Genasi who's like had it.
I think
Who's
it's
covered
very
in stone
fair.
skin, by the way. That's why I asked like if it had been an hour yet. She's still covered in stone skin.
You're
She's
right, yeah.
looking fucking terrifying with the fire behind her and her gray cracked skin.
I think that depending on how well you like have been paying attention in all of our times of being gods and being together, I think you can, depending on how well you would have known Umid, I think it's fair not to believe them when they say that because even she doesn't truly believe it when she says it. It is a salve for the running, the running that Umid is constantly doing from anything that is negative, anything that is bad. Because if you stop for even a moment, then it will all overwhelm you and everything will go to shit. And we can't have that. So we keep moving and we keep running and we're good and we're happy and everything's fine.
Yeah, and Elva's passive insight's also 18. So like between the experience and like how well she reads people, she's just like doesn't even say anything but just stares at you and waits.
As the waiting kind of persists, you all kind of notice that like it is just void darkness in here. And unless Euphoria or Moo, you want to comment, you hear kind of like very light footsteps.
Right before the footsteps, I think Euphoria just pivots away from Umid. Like they can't stand to look at them anymore. And they look at Elva. Elva, you need to talk to Mara the next time that we see them.
That was my plan before we were going to be hit with a tsunami. So I was afraid
Even
if I
if there is a
stayed behind,
tsunami.
he'd kill me. So I decided to come with you all.
It needs to be soon. Smene
Wouldn't
is
let
not
him do
here,
that.
and Misery is not here either. And we won't find Soul anywhere, so I don't want to re-meet Misery. And they kind of gesture with the item like this.
And in the pause between that, the footsteps come very light, almost as if like kind of heels clicking on the ground, but not in an attempt to be like forceful or like loud, purely just the sound of heels clicking on like obsidian, like not concrete, but linoleum kind of. And a very familiar voice, one that might be comforting in this moment for some, very irritating for one particular person, of the Magic Man. As the spotlight, you hear the clicking before you see the spotlight coming down, and they say, "And misery does love company." Hello, everyone. I saw what happened, and I will not make a comment on that. I myself was wondering why it was only 8 and not 9, but we've got the answer. You may rest here as long as you wish. I will take you to the next trial when you are ready. And you can tell that, like, they are keyed on to the vibes. Like, very much like, take a rest, take a breather, like, take as much time as you want. Almost with the procession of a funeral administrator.
Do you have a way for me to talk to my brother without him killing me? And she like sounds like she hates that she's asking this.
Yeah. And like no fluff, no like bullshit, just kind of a very curt no. Um it would seem that Mar understands that they cannot pass through since they have not, participated in the trials. I do not have a connection to them, and they do not have a connection to me, much differently than all of you in your books. To go
Well,
to the trials, you have to accept them.
if Mar has not been doing the trials, then how did he make it this far in the first place? To Hereticus at all?
And you see there's kind of like a look of like kind of holding back, kind of like, do you really wish to know?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And the magic man turns, kind of like gesturing their hand. And very similarly, you see kind of like a line being drawn, like in space until like an imagery comes up, almost like silent image, like what we would know kind of like to be motion picture. And it is a first person view. Sorry, not first person, probably third person, basically a camera, as if a camera is following Mar. And you see kind of like from the moment that Mar's body fell below kind of like the heavens. You see Mar like clutching, and the camera is like looking down at him, at his face, and he is like holding up, and you could presume like there's a hand holding him, and then he gets let go. And you can assume that this is the very moment that Mar fell. From the moment that Mar fell, this camera had started watching, and you see that the camera gets close to his face and he is crying, and tears are like flying through the air. This is that similar moment that everyone kind of experienced when they fell, but he was the first. And he's just saying, no, 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 help, please, help, no. And he's like plummeting down the earth. And for him, you can tell that, and this camera goes for a while. It seems that his plummet is longer than everyone else's, and he is sobbing. He's like, no, please, I cannot be alone. I cannot be, you cannot do this to me. Alpha. And he's dropping until he plummets into the earth first. And there's maybe even kind of like an understanding of how early this is. This time frame, you all know that you dropped. You kind of have been picking up that maybe you've dropped at different time points. Mar kind of gets up and kind of like his knees are weak, and he is looking around, and he drops down to the ground, and he's like, why did she, look, I mean, I know we all were falling, but why did she let me go? Why did she let me go? She's the only person I had. I can't do this alone. No, no, no. And then time goes by, and he's still alone. He has not moved from this spot. And he's like, I'll wait. Okay, yeah, I'll wait. I will wait for her to come get me, because she's not going to leave me here. I mean, she'll get Mene, and Mene's going to come get me, and we're all going to be a family again, and we're going to be good, and we're going to be great. And kind of like in fetal position in this crater in the earth, he is there for like 10, 15, 20 years. You see like his godly body kind of subsisting for a while, 30, 40, 50, like 200 years alone, waiting. And then it shows up. And Mar kind of like not paying attention, kind of like still holding on. You see, he has that book. He's maybe read it once, and it just says Perdition. And he's holding it, and he's waiting, and he's waiting, and he's sobbing, and he's crying. And then it shows its face to him. And then it bites Mar's arm. And he doesn't react. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't react. He doesn't do a singular thing. And then he looks at it. She's not coming, is she? I'm alone, aren't I? I'm all alone. Can I have you? And then he kind of pets it. And this creature kind of almost very confusedly, what? Wrong. So many things. And then it flashes very quickly to the moment in which like Mar is like smithing a weapon, kind of picking it up. It seems that like the desperation has aged him, though his body had never changed from the mortal. He's never bitten the apple. He'd never left from godhood. He is smithing a weapon. And like you see him, he takes like a hand, like his hand that had gotten bitten, he like cuts it off, placing it, like kind of distilling it. Like going through this whole process, it seems like however long between the moment at which he accepted it and it accepted him and the moment in which he's forging this weapon, he's learned, he's grown, he seems older, tired, weathered, and he just solemnly is hitting it until he picks up that blade hilt. Well, gods be damned. And then he looks into the camera, grabs that hilt, and kind of like a whip crack, the divinity is gone. And the magic man looks at you.
Why did you show us that? No, I'm kidding.
No, no, like literally, he's kind of looking like, yeah, I'm not one partial to watching suffering, but yeah.
I think the group sees something they've never seen before, and Elva is fully sobbing.
Euphoria immediately like turns to look for Mene, remembers that Mene isn't here yet, and kind of comes up, still holding on to the item of souls. Elva. And they lean against you almost like a cat rubbing against a leg, kind of. They just press themselves toward you.
She'll stand up and lean into a hug position.
And if you allow it, they'll throw a like really gentle, I think it's just something that rolls off of them, like a calm emotions too, to help. Like it's like the way they smell, it's the way they are, it's the thing that kind of just rolls off of them when they press themselves toward you and you go skin to skin.
She does that, like, you know, when you've been crying a long time and you do the thing that she does one of those and then catches her breath and she starts to calm, and then it just silent tears. She doesn't stop crying.
I think the inside of Euphoria's like glass body starts to mist up a little bit, like as though it's like getting pulled into them. But they just sit with you very quietly, I think, until you're ready.
We have to do the trials. If we stop, I can save him if we keep going. But if he kills me, I can't save him. And she doesn't say anything else. And then goes to stand in front of the magic man, ready to be transported wherever they're supposed to be going.
You do. And I assume then Euphoria and Umid and Moo silently follow. It will be the masquerade ball next. Let us go. And as this darkness kind of is brightened by a light, and you all disappear. We will end our session right there.
Fuck you, dude.
What did I do? I didn't do anything. But yes, hi everyone. I have been your game master, the god of gods, CJ, aka Scholastic Dragon. If you've made it this far, thank you for sitting with us. And I will pass it to, well, I guess you can find me anywhere at Scholastic Dragon. Scholastic, like the book Fair Dragon, like the mythical creature, drop the on dragon when you look for me. I do this mostly, like continually. This is my most continuous thing. So if you like me here, come back next week and you'll see me there again. I'm a game designer. You can find me at all my links, yada, yada, yada. And I'm a job searcher. I'm looking for jobs. So, if you and all of the 10 other people here know where CJ can get a job, just pass it my way. My DMs are mostly open, kind of. But other than that, I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna pass to a different person now because I can see it on the screen. I'm gonna pass to you. I'm gonna pass to C.
You can pass it to Euphoria. I'll take it too. Hi everyone, my name is C. They them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at C Plays RPG. Tonight I had the absolute pleasure of playing Euphoria. If you like what I did here tonight, you'll like what I do other places. Specifically, next week, next Saturday, is the premiere of Transplanar RPG's second main campaign, The Chaos Protocol. Bam, 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 bam. So we're doing lots and lots of reveals for that. We have finally revealed all of the character art that we have on the docket for you. Tomorrow, we'll be dropping a very nice little promo graphic because it'll be 1 week until that premiere. So tune in on June 24th at 8 p.m. US Eastern Time. For that, it's going to be amazing. Join Strike Team Nova for what will only be a heartbreaking, beautiful opening of Campaign 2. Other stuff that I am doing, you can find on my Twitter because I can't remember it right now. But it'll be kind of gay, whatever it is that I'm doing. So, gay wrist. Go look at the art. That's it. And I will pass it to Hamna.
Hello, everybody. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer and producer. You can find me all over the social medias at LilithTTRPG, though Twitter is the best place to know where I am at any given point in time. And the next place that you can find me is on Tuesday over on Bad House RPG's channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be playing Itaewon by Night with the lovely Joe. So come see my absolutely unhinged fledgling Ventru, who is a cop killer. ACAB. And with that, I will pass it over to Joe.
Hello, everyone. I'm Josephine. I am, I was going to say God Killer. I am at Scary Dog Friend. I was the God Killer in a God Killer one shot that CJ and I played on Nameless Domain, which is on our Twitch VODs right now. If you want to go ahead and check that shit out. I was your God of Fear, Moo, the Kalistar Barbarian. I am the facilitator for Itaewon by Night, just as Hamda has said. Lots of other projects and things coming around for Nameless Domain and at Bad House. In 3 days, you can still apply for a new Bad House summer show that's coming out using the system of Spire, The City Must Fall, GM'd by Alyssa or at A Disaster Queer. So if you love Alyssa, and if you love me, and if you love Bad House RPG, consider checking out the applications. That's me. Nikki.
Hello, I am Nikki. I am a producer here at TEATRPG, and this is the... Yes, I was like, is it? It is, until Monday. This is the only stream I am currently doing until tomorrow. We have our talk show. We didn't get to do a May episode, so we had our people from May move to June, so it's now our Pride episode. So not tomorrow, but Sunday at 2 p.m. we will have Banana Chan Games and Carpe Christie, or Christiana, who is a dear, dear friend. I'm so excited to have her back on the show. She hasn't been on since our very first episode when she was a musical guest. So this will be really fun. I might try to talk her into singing for us again. Okay. What else? Oh, Monday. You can watch on this channel. You can watch Thirsty Derby Lesbians. It's derby themed, roller derby themed, Thirsty Sword Lesbians game that is going currently, and there are actually a couple of former derby girls playing in that. So you should tune in because it's gonna be fun. And then also Monday night, I will be over on Critical Misses playing Time Chasers. And I have no idea what's happening yet because we haven't had session 0. And I am a bimbo. And so they told me something about time differences. I don't know. I'm going to go and just figure shit out, I guess. Anyway, so those are things we have going on. Thank you for tuning in. Take care of yourself. If this episode was heavy for you, be kind to yourself and get some rest. And we will see you on the internet.